What is up? Pokerbrandon here, and in this hand playing 5-5 no limit hold'em cash game poker at the Gardens Casino, $300 to $600 buy-in. I open a 15 with ace-3 suited, as you should, in the hijack, and the button is going to call. Button is going to be a tight retired man. He's retired. He comes. He plays. He's tight. Doesn't 3-bet too much. Pretty much the thing I noticed from most retired men is they just have a call button. They don't really have a raise button. But yeah, just one thing to notate. It's going to fold over to the big blind, who also comes in, and we go 3 ways to a flop. One thing to notate is my VPIP was pretty tight during the session, as it normally always is. My VPIP, I'm probably opening maybe one every 3 orbits. It's about one out of every 25 hands. So it's going to be around a little bit below a 5% VPIP there. Just so you know. And anyway, we go 3 ways to a flop. And because my VPIP is tight, I think I'm just going to be able to have more bluff equity, and that's one of the reasons why I think a tight, aggressive strategy is best. But anyway, flop is going to be 4-9-9 with 2 clubs, and this is just going to be a horrible flop for me. I don't always believe in trying to win every single pot that you play. I think it's okay to just completely give up on missed flops and play face up. I think it's okay. I think it keeps your VPIP pretty tight, keeps your image tight, and then when you do finally put in a bluff with let's say some equity, like a flush draw equity or open-ended equity or 2 overs equity, your bluff is gonna get through more than if you were to try to attack every single pot every single time. Maybe it's not GTO, but I find that to be a nice slow profit of success when I play that way. And I do find that when you do attack every one of your pots at like 5-5, these low stakes, your bluffs, they're not really going to get through. And I think in the long run at these low stake 5-5 games, 100 big blind caps, especially more so than the 200 big blind caps, attacking every flop definitely gets you into trouble. But anyway, because it checked all the way through, I feel like the big blind, after he checks again on the turn, he's not really going to have a 9. And then the retired man to my left on the button, I feel like he would bet his pocket pairs after it checks to him. I think he was like the type to know to do that, and he did not put in a bet. So I think he's going to have a lot of big Broadway cards that just missed. And I think the big blind is just going to have air. So I figure a nice small $20 bet might be good enough now to just win this after I pick up a gut shot with the 2 on the turn. But tight retired man raises me to 45. So he goes to 45, and I think that even though he was a senior retired man, gray hair, normally those players don't really have too many bluffs up their sleeve, but a lot of these guys, they know how to play, they know how to bluff. And I think though one thing you can pick up on is a bluff coming from a recreational type regular, I would say, like the retired regulars. I would say on average their bluffs are usually not too big. Like they go like min clicks. By the way, I was pretty nervous when the big blind was thinking about it for a while, because he looked like he was about to put in another raise, but he didn't. He gets out of the way. And now I tank for about 30 seconds here. I don't think a raise is ever the best the best like decision here. I don't think I'm gonna get my opponent off of. I probably could. I probably could get my opponent off of a range of what I think he might have, like a pocket pair, who doesn't believe me. So he thinks I'm stabbing, which he's right, and he thinks that his pocket pair is best, and he wants me to fold. But I'm not trying to gamble against the odds on whether or not he will fold that. Also, he could still have 9. So, or full house. So, river comes, and river is a jack. But because of the sizing of the buttons raise against me on the turn, I feel like he's going to have a lot of flush draws there. And I feel like even if he doesn't have a lot of flush draws, he's going to have like a lot of pocket pairs, like 3s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. Not really 10s. I think 10s would bet that on the flop. But he's going to have a lot of like 8s, 7s, 6s, 5s, 3s. So I think after I bet and call on the turn, I think it does somewhat look like I could have a 9. Maybe I played a weird 9, even though not necessarily, it doesn't really make sense. But it could still, I could still have a 9, I believe, to some players. To this player specifically, he wasn't a thinking player. So when the jack comes, I feel like my ace is not good. And I think I can win this with a decently sized bet of 50. I think $50 into 140 just looks like it's begging for a call. Like it's not really a missed flush, and it works. It gets through. I record the ending here so you could see the board. I guess, you couldn't see my hand there, but you see the board there. But yeah, so the bluff got through, and I think one thing you can take from this hand is you can realize that if you attempt a bluff on a flop like in this spot right here, and you can get raised, and you can try to float and call that raise with your weird gut shot, with your low GTO gut shot. That is not really a winning play to call and just hope to hit a gut shot, right? It's not, guys. Don't do that just to hit the gut shot. But if you have the ability and the bankroll and the nuts to put out a bet, put out a bluff on a river like that, you can get away with floating some of these gut shots here. Anyway, what do you think about this hand? I'm Pokerbrandon. I'm out.